I'm Dr. Mark Hatala, and I want to welcome you to my office. I'm a cognitive scientist who studies time travel by replicating days from the past. And so everything that someone would have experienced on a particular day, from early morning newspapers through late night television and everything in between. What we're looking at today is February 9th, 1964. And so I'll do my trying to look like Paul McCartney, listening to his Pepsi transistor radio. But what we're going to talk about today is the National Police Gazette from February 1964. And so there's the sex bomb in Charlie Chaplin's closet. Spoiler alert, it's his own daughter, Geraldine. But we'll talk about that in a minute too. The National Police Gazette is a pretty fascinating magazine. Imagine a combination of Playboy, Sports Illustrated, Esquire, the National Enquirer, and America's Most Wanted, and you have some idea of what the magazine was like. And so I thought we could talk about some of the articles, and I'll put links to them below. So the first article is about Mamie Van Doren and how she was, she said, why I posed in the nude. She's in this month's Playboy too. She's on the cover, actually. And I have another video about it because she's not actually nude in the video or in the magazine or in the video. But her history is a little bit interesting, and she goes into it in the article. So, for example, her name is really not Mamie Van Doren. Her name is actually Joan Olander. They named her Mamie because Mamie Eisenhower was the first lady in the 1950s, and they thought she was going to be the next Marilyn Monroe, and so they thought that was a better name for her. They make sure to give her measurements, 38, 25, 35, and that she had been Howard Hughes's girlfriend. So she was in a series of movies, probably most famously 1960s Sex Kittens Go to College. But it's an interesting read, and so I would encourage you to take a look. The second article is called Bean Poles Are Ruining Basketball. And this is because there were a lot of really tall basketball players entering into the NBA in the early 1960s. So, for example, Wilt Chamberlain was 7'1", and he had a 100-point game in 1962. Bill Russell was 6'10", and the argument was that these very tall, very talented players were ruining the game, and so it's questionable. The NBA's gotten a lot, yeah, it's very popular, and it's certainly gotten better. I don't know if it's the height of the players that matters. The third article is about Sonny Liston. Now, Sonny Liston fought Muhammad Ali, at the time known as Cassius Clay, on February 25th, 1964. And so it's in the future. And they're talking about if Sonny Liston can be beaten. Now, there's another article, too, in this week's Sports Illustrated that asks the same question. Now, Sonny Liston was a 7-1 favorite. I know people don't usually bet on boxing, but if you did, he was a 7-1 favorite to beat Muhammad Ali, and he lost. And then they had a rematch in 1965, and Ali knocked him out in the first round. Now, that's not to take away from Sonny Liston. He was a great boxer, but it's interesting to read their analyses on how he can be beaten. The last article is about the sex bomb in Charlie Chaplin's closet. Again, his daughter. I love Geraldine Chaplin. She was in Dr. Zhivago, and I like that movie too. The article itself is mostly salacious material about Charlie Chaplin. And so, again, this is the National Enquirer aspect of Police Gazette. So one of the things they talk about is he really has this thing about marrying teenagers. So his first wife, he was 30 and she was 17. And then his second wife, he was 35 and she was 16 and he was 35. And then his third wife was Paulette Goddard, and she was 25 at the time, and he was 47. But she was a Hollywood film star, and actually they got divorced and remained amicable. And then his fourth wife was Una O'Neill, Eugene O'Neill's daughter, and she was 18 and he was 53. And so that is, there's a lot of material like that in this article. So it's really not about Geraldine Chaplin so much, except that he doesn't want her to go into acting because he doesn't think it's appropriate. But I will put links to all of these articles below so you can read them. And why not come to timetravelsimplified.com and try out time travel and buy my book, Beatles in America, February 9th, 1964. It's guaranteed. Our motto is, it's time travel or it's free. I also put a link to my Patreon account below, so if you'd like to support my research, and otherwise, if you could like and share and subscribe, that would be wonderful too. Otherwise, have a great day.